detective, thrill me.
Thanks for tuning in. This week's episode is my pick after Maddie had last week's Hellraiser. This one is I've picked it. I'm gonna give some background, some context as to why.
Yeah, you need an explanation.
The explanation
you need to
is
explain
this.
it to everybody.
I was on Rotten Tomatoes. I came across some editorial information from them from a couple of years ago that said the worst movie on Rotten Tomatoes is this one, Ballistic, Ecks Vs Sever. It has a 0% Rotten Tomatoes rating based on 116 reviews. This movie, according to them, is the worst movie that they've ever covered. So, I said, bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah.
I am prepared to put myself on the line here and say, this is not the worst movie, so we're going to cover this, and then we're going to get our thoughts, scores, and then we're going to actually decide, is this the worst movie?
Yeah, that's like saying someone kicks you in the nuts and you say, that's not the hardest time I've ever been kicked in the nuts. Let's test it out.
I've been kicked in the nuts 20 times worse than this. Alright, before we get into it, I just wanted to bring up a little bit of news. You'd be a fan of this, Jared. Does anyone remember the Dark Universe?
Yeah.
Can anyone remember the films that are in the Dark Universe?
It was supposed to be the Wolfman, the Invisible Man.
No, but which ones did they actually make? Dracula 2000 or whatever, Dracula Undead or whatever.
That one's got a tenuous link, and then it was the Mummy, and that was it.
The Dark Universe crumbled after the Mummy.
Fucking caved in on itself.
It is now in the hands of Blumhouse.
Mm.
And they are about to have a crack at
Invisible
pretty
Man.
much the Dark Universe.
Yeah.
They're not calling it the Dark Universe, I don't believe. I mean, look, the stick coming off that
has to
name.
be smarter than that.
Yeah, they've gone, don't mention that. It's like, don't mention the war. I mentioned it once and I think I got away with it, I think Blumhouse have decided, let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
But they've got basically the rights to
The
those
Invisible
films.
Man is pretty much the easiest movie for Blumhouse to make. Because
Well, quite frankly, I don't
you don't
think
need
you can
anyone there in order for the action to happen.
Personally, I don't think you can do it any better than the Hollow Man. So, there you go. Case closed on that.
That could have started. That could have started, didn't it?
Bacon, Verhoeven, plenty of valence.
Even when he was invisible, his top was sweet.
His invisible tockle was bloody impressive.
Yeah, oh, you bumped into me. No, I'm over here.
Yeah, the other side of the room. So they're taking it on. The classic properties, so the Wolfman, the Mummy, Dracula, Frankenstein. I've got massive raps on this. This is just another way that these guys continue to show that because they'll get the right people, mate. The exact thing you've always said about them is they'll go to people who have an interesting idea or a pitch, and they'll go with it if they like it. Yep. They won't just go, oh look, I need a writer's room of 20 people to come up with some shit here that we can whip out. So,
and the thing about being a horror studio basically is they know what people want from these movies. They don't just say, shit, we've got this property, as you said, attach the 5 biggest actors we can get and just start churning them out.
Yeah.
They know what people want to see, and they know,
They're going to get McAvoy to play each.
Yeah. Get McAvoy playing Jekyll, Hyde, Frankenstein.
It was fairly certain that nobody wanted to see the Mummy in the form that it came in 2016. So I'm really happy with this. I think this is a really great idea.
I think I'm on record on the podcast saying I was still excited even after I saw the trailer. But
What, the Mummy?
yeah,
Look, I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
It was shit. But it somehow made money. It just cost a lot of money. That was the problem. And the funny thing about the Dark Universe that I always sort of snigger about is they already had all these promotional pictures of like Tom Cruise and
they
Johnny Depp.
They photoshopped them all together because they weren't in the same room.
It's just like, you may have got ahead of yourselves.
That was the mistake. You didn't have anything under the belt.
Yeah.
Like the Dracula movie was just kind of meh.
You needed a hit.
Oh, Cruise is in the Mummy. Here's our universe.
Yeah.
How about you do the Mummy and then say, well, that was good. Here's what we had in mind.
Yeah.
Like you don't go releasing promo pics of all the Russell Crowe and
they had some good stars
Johnny
there,
Depp.
but
Yeah, they did, but
it wasn't going to work.
now none of those stars are in any of the movies.
Yeah, they've all gone. Scheduling conflicts currently. All right, but I think that's really good news for fans of this type of stuff. All right, let's take a break. Here's the trailer to 2002's Ballistic, Ecks Vs Sever.
We don't have much to go on. Someone's developed a micro device. The perfect assassin. Injectable, lies in wait inside its victim. One touch of a button, you can give a head state a heart attack.
2 deadly agents.
ID?
A former FBI agent named Jeremiah Ecks.
Sworn enemies.
Sever.
Are tracking it down.
We have acquisition located.
Who will find it?
I have a situation and you're my only option. This woman single-handedly took out a heavily armed escort detail. I need you to find her.
Of course you do. My daughter wanted to tell him why you look so sad. I told her it's because you just got beat up by a girl.
And when the rules change,
Positive visual.
Take her down.
they find that their enemy is the only one they can trust.
Let's finish this.
There are no innocent people, you know that. Only killers and victims.
She's gonna kill you.
Training. Is that the best you can do?
No, this is.
Ballistic, Ecks Vs Sever from 2002, directed by... I'm just going to call him Chaos. I'm just going to call him Chaos.
Go on, have a crack.
Why Chaos Sanander?
Nailed it.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah,
But
it was Chaos Sayananda or something.
He called himself Chaos.
Yeah, which was admittedly that was the abbreviation of his
Yeah,
actual
like fair
name,
enough,
so-
because look, it was hard to pronounce.
For some.
Okay, it was hard to pronounce for some.
I think he had an agent like you who just said, we better change your name for the
Call
US
yourself Chaos,
market."
mate. Call yourself Chaos. It's brilliant. I was going to call him Ultimate Chaos. But yeah,
he's not your Casanova.
Okay, it's produced by Chaos, Chris Lee, and Ellie Samara, who actually produced Battlefield.
Good credential.
Talk about the credentials.
Imagine dropping that resume around town. You got any work? Yeah, I've done Battlefield Earth
Oh, shit.
and Ecks Vs Sever.
Yeah, look, mate. Tell your story, Walker. Yeah, what though? There was also 4 exec producers, 3 associate producers, 2 co-producers, and a line producer involved in the whole fucking endeavour. And it was written by Alan B. McElroy, noted screenwriter of Halloween 4. It stars Antonio Banderas as Jeremiah Ecks and Lucy Liu as Sever. The budget, I saw some things that said it was 35 million, but the Box Office Mojo was saying 70 million. Oh, shit. And the box office was 20 million worldwide.
Oh,
Yeah, look, it took a
rightly
hit.
so.
That hurts.
Sever was originally actually written to be played by a man, and Maddie, you'll be interested to note that the film original stars were Wesley Snipes and Jet Li than Vin Diesel and Sly Stallone.
There you go.
So,
that would have been better casting.
Yeah, Vin came this close to signing up.
I also read somewhere, don't know how true it is, but it started off as a Dolph Lundgren vehicle as well.
Which would have been entertaining too.
Shit. If anyone can hear that...
That's God making his thoughts known on this particular film.
The Hellraiser box just opened.
Yeah, the Hellraiser box just opened up and it seems that pain is in order. Okay.
Less pleasure than pain.
I'm going to come straight out. Because I picked this. This is what I'm going to give you. It's just a pointless, muddled, boring action film that makes absolutely no sense. I mean, there's shit about nanobots at one point where I was just like, what the hell's this? It's all over the shop. The actors are just sleepwalking through it. And I don't know how they were asleep because there's an explosion every 5 seconds. So that would have kept someone awake. I'll give it half a star. Half.
Okay.
Jared.
Right. Yeah, look, I'll go to a 1.
What?
I'll go to a 1 star. It was absolutely muddled. There were numerous times when I was sitting there going, hang on, like, is Ray Parks working for the DIA or is he not? Is he just Gantz Man? And then kind of once it all came together, it's like, okay, I get that, but it was fucking, at the start, none of that was clearly sort of put out there. The way that the information comes out is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The acting from a large portion of the group is abysmal. But funnily enough, I actually got the 1 star from a few things that Chaos did. Yes, there was shit blowing up everywhere, but he actually had a couple of inventive little moments in a couple of the gunfights and that
Chaos.
sort of thing.
Chaos sort of...
He also had, look, there was some career lows as well, but there was a couple of points in there where I was like, shit, that was all right, you know. Maybe I was just searching for anything.
I think you were either searching for anything or Chaos accidentally got these things out.
Yeah, so I went for a 1, and as I said to you, the reason that it's on a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes is because it's not, like, it's bad, but not something like X where I was laughing my head off bad. It was just kind of, shit, I want this movie to finish bad.
Yeah.
So... if it was, and I mean, I don't know what's worse. Is that saying these guys were closer to a competent picture? They didn't have me giggling the whole way through like X did. Like I'm a little bit confused, but that's why it's at a 0. So
1.
No, 1 from me, but I think that's why it's at a 0.
Yeah, on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah,
because there's no camp or cult value for it.
Yeah, no jackets or any of that sort of
jackets and bloody surfing on, bloody skiing down avalanches.
God.
Let me tell you though, Chaos could have pulled that off. I can tell you now.
Yeah, but the snow would have blown up.
Matty, now you can see. Let's see where you're at on this.
Well, I gave it a 1 as well. Maybe not for the same reason. My 1 star came from picturing you guys with Gant's haircut. in the late 90s.
I can't grow my hair that long anymore. I wish I had Gant's haircut. I'd take the blonde.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty poor. The actors had very little to work with. There was limited to no emotion from the 2 main stars. I couldn't connect with it at all. They were like trying to push this family angle.
Yeah.
But it just didn't work.
None of it
me.
found any footing.
Yeah. I felt like a bit ripped off that I had to pay $5 to watch it. So
I was fuming. Not only that, but I didn't have enough space on my iPad to hire it on HD, so I had to pay $5 for it. I don't give you a discount for standard def anymore, you.
Oh, you should, that should be $3 for standard def. Okay. It likes. Let me tell you where. Let me find out where Ultimate Chaos got you a star.
Well, look, straight out of the blocks, the first actor to show up was Quintana from Mortal Kombat, so I knew we were on sturdy ground for the rest of the picture. I knew we were in safe hands there.
That's it.
Straight it up, we were.
No, look, Antonio Banderas has a couple of moments, but as Maddie said, the writing's just so bad. He's only got a couple, but when he has them, you can see what he can do with them.
Yeah.
And Greg Henry, I love Greg Henry, would prefer him in roles talking about deer feces and Lyme disease, but I'm a big fan of him as well as like a character actor.
And he kind of gets shafted too because
he gets nothing to work. But he can, like you can see in those villain roles, he can do that shit.
Yeah.
When he gets good lines and stuff, which he had none of in this movie.
He was slimy.
Yeah, he's slimy and he can do the kind of, the way that he kind of turns on people and the way that he tells that guy to kill himself.
That
and
stupid
all that sort of
reverse
stuff.
gun.
Oh, mate.
That was one of my likes.
We'll talk about
That
that later.
was absolute brilliance. I laughed my
That's your
ass
like.
off. Yeah,
Oh,
I absolutely laughed my ass off when he does the whole.
It was in my dislikes, but that was my most lively audience reaction to the whole picture.
There's a bit of tension.
He's done the trick card, and I've just burst out laughing and saying, "Bullshit!"
It's backfired in his face. Oh man.
Yeah, that was in my dislikes, but
Look,
it was.
there's a couple of fight scenes are okay.
Easily my favourite scene in there was that first scene with Antonio Banderas. And he's
in
like,
the bar?
Yeah, he's in the bar. He's had these two thugs that you know are going to get their ass kicked.
Yeah.
And then cool as a cucumber comes in and starts trying to have a conversation with him that you know is going nowhere. But then his slow walk, the first of many slow walks in this movie. There's so many people walking slowly away from things.
Yeah.
But he's in the rain. His hat lights up a cigarette, takes one puff, flicks it away, pops his collar, and then walks into the rain, and you know he's going to have to walk back because the other guys already said that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, but you already know
Antonio
doesn't need to worry about the money that he's spending on cigarettes because it's just he's just that type of guy. He's just doesn't have to worry about where the next cigarette's coming
Well, the bloke was a fucking barfly. He needs to keep every cigarette he can get.
Well, that's probably it. He probably picked it up off the ground. Oh, that one's a bit tastes like
oh, urine.
The scene with Harry's daughter, for example, is one of the only bits when Banderas gets to act.
Yeah.
When the little girl's like trying to shame him and he's not talking, he's just kind of looking at her and you can tell he's feeling guilty that he's like, it's not polite to stare and all this sort of stuff. Like, that was excellent. That was really good acting work from him.
Chaos, working the room.
Enough of it. He didn't get enough of that stuff.
Yeah.
And there was more feeling evoked from the audience in that than there was about his family the entire time.
His family. That was just funny.
His family.
That's such a convoluted way to get to. It's actually
we're still in
related to you. Now you're invested.
That's all going to get a kicking. Look, as I said, Chaos had some okay moments. The specific one that I really remember was the bloke getting shot off the roof.
Yeah.
And the camera following him.
Yeah,
down.
that was cool.
I'm like, honestly, I can't remember a lot of movies where I've seen that.
Yeah.
Where it actually follows him down.
Psycho down the stairs.
That was ruined
The
when
car blowing up too underneath him. Like they've timed it for the car.
But that was ruined by the fact that one of the tyres flies out and hits a bloke who does kind of like a Laurel and Hardy type of fall.
It was also ruined by the bloke falling, trying to exaggerate the fact that he was like trying to make it look like he was actually falling. He looks like he's trying to swipe away a mozzie or something. His hands are just kind of fluffing about up there. Like, yeah, that was
a couple of the explosions wowed me.
It was a couple of the train yard stuff was up and down, but there was a couple of really nice shots like where the dudes hit the tripwire and then the camera kind of pulls back as they're engulfed in the flames and shit. Like he had a few moments that were
Chaos hasn't directed anything since.
No, he's got a couple. He's got a couple of low budget things.
Low budget turds.
Yeah,
flying around.
Yeah. Look, the bloke was shafted. He was thrown under the train on this one.
Oh God.
Well, it's no surprise. I mean, it's no surprise that there was studio interference. Okay, is there anything else?
No, I've been very generous with.
There's some mediocre fighting in there. There's some good chasing in there. But not enough to. It didn't stand out. You're watching it going. This is just. They knew they had to put that in to kill some time.
Look,
it didn't raise the pulse like Vin Diesel on a dirt bike.
No, they could have shortened it by 15 minutes, and I would have been happier.
Yeah.
Honestly, Chaos Chaos directs with more style than Triple X is directed with. It is.
A little bit of flair.
Come on, no coats.
Not a lot.
Large helpings of shit.
Yeah.
A little bit of flair.
All right, the dislikes. People, let's open it up.
All right, let's get into it. The
The
music.
Techno music is
Fucking horrible. The music is unrelenting. It switches between these fucking repetitive guitar-driven things and then a bloody techno.
Yeah, you take that beat, then you get
90s.
oh,
Jesus.
you get like a wailing woman in there. It's like what
I
the
felt like the fucking Xenobites had jammed a couple of headphones in my ears and said, "Listen to this for 90 minutes." It was just.
yeah. I would rather have had my ass probed by the Xenobots than listen to that. Oh, it's bloody.
was
It
shocking.
won't stop either. Like
No, it's
Chaos,
just- it never
Chaos
stops.
just left the CD on for the entire filming schedule.
Yeah.
How about the cliched opening sequence of the credits going over the water as the
Yes.
of the moving
Yeah.
trolley over the water or whatever it is.
Yeah, it was a lot of.
And then they came
yeah,
back to
real
it later
standard
on.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just mediocre.
Mm-hmm. All right, specific actors. Specific actors.
Do it.
Obviously, Katana's not known for her acting ability. For one,
No.
Lucy Liu is dreadful.
Yeah.
She just does nothing.
Yeah.
There's no, and I
She
guess
barely
she's-
even speaks.
She's supposed to be like this sort of stone cold, kind of emotionless killer.
Yeah.
But there's just, like it was a bad choice for
This
whether
killer-
they told her to not.
But then they try and make her emote with the
Yeah, they
kid,
make- I
and
know.
it fails because she has no emotions.
Oh,
You know what?
It was just appalling.
This is where I was at, Jared. When Matty came over this evening, I asked him 2 questions about Lucy Liu. I said, did she have nanobots inside her? No. Is she a robot? No.
Is she, in fact, the nanobot?
I was fucking baffled. I watched the movie 3 days ago.
Oh, mate, she was dreadful. She was terrible.
She runs everywhere. She'd be
Yeah.
so fit.
Good pace.
Like, I don't think I'm not a massive fan of her, but I don't think she's a bad actress.
No.
But she was terrible in
She's
this.
not fast enough to outrun guns.
Well, no, if you're a robot, you are.
Yeah, well, that's right.
That's why I was asking those questions. man.
Ray Park.
Oh.
I feel bad saying this because he's another bloke that I've seen in at Q&As and conventions and stuff, and he seems like a really good dude. Like I saw him at one point. There was one kid in the audience dressed like Darth Maul, so I picked him out and said, "Come here, and I'll show you how to do the lightsaber spin, and then stage this whole little fight with the kid." And I thought that's awesome. That kid's going to be a Ray Park fan forever.
Forever, yeah.
Then he saw Ecks Vs Sever.
Was that the
His
guy?
character was he
He was the British-
British guy. Yeah,
He was the Prince of
Number
Darkness.
two.
The Prince of
That was
Darkness.
weak.
Look, I was confused. I thought they were looking at the DIA.
You were confused.
Looking at him, and we'd previously seen him with Greg Henry, and I was sitting there going, so they got tabs on him. He's in town. He fucking works for them. Why are we looking at him? Why are we sitting in the office saying, "Oh, the Prince of Darkness is in town"? You work with the bloke, seemingly. I don't know. I was confused, but yeah, Ray Park is just. He needs to stick to the non-speaking stuff.
I love the fact that he has a nickname, the Prince of Darkness.
I know.
For God's sake.
They didn't. Yeah, that was a short session in the writers' room.
Yeah, look, he is fucking dreadful. He's dreadful. He is, though. He's really bad. Like, everything he does is really stilted. Like, someone will walk up behind him and he'll turn around and go, "Not right now." And then he'll just, oh, man.
I like that they had a knife fight in there at least.
But
was a
Ray
good
Park is not the worst for mine.
Really?
And I'll tell you why. Is because he was on double duty. He was there to do some fighting.
Yeah.
Double duty, nice.
Well, Miguel Sandoval.
Oh, is he the
He
one who
was-
plays the boss
The boss.
of DIA?
He was
in
abysmal.
the yeah. But me and Nanny were trying
So
to work
cool,
out who he
uncollected.
was. He was
Yeah.
in Seinfeld running the bodega, the cockfighting ring.
So good.
Mate, I wished he was running some cockfights in this. He was shocking.
If he said, go fight little Lucy.
he was like the worst thing. Is he was like the Basil exposition, but there was no flavour. He was more bloody. He was more parsley exposition. There was no flavour brought to the table.
There was no flavour. What did he do wrong? What did he need to be killed?
What kind of brew was it with Park?
That actor is not a reason to kill him.
The flavours of Ray Park and Miguel Sandoval in there.
He was just terrible.
Talk about Will.
Every time he was on screen, I'm like, can we get something out of you? Can you raise your voice at least? Like, give us a little bit of something. He was just shocking. And then when he gets shot, he's trying he's trying to talk to him after it. Like, even then, you're just bloody casual about it.
Shows who your wife is. Oh, God. What a stupid twist.
Oh, man.
I'd have been... He must have been... Like, how do you performance manage actors?
Again, they gave you
bloody
nothing,
meeting with HR. Listen,
you
turn it up.
That is strike one.
Yeah, you're turning up that what you're producing is not up to scratch. And you're on notice, basically.
What was he meant to do with that, though?
Well,
I
it's like Sammy Jackson in Triple X. It's not that far removed from what he was doing.
Yeah.
A couple, he didn't have those lines, but Sammy Jackson will still scowl or bloody, get a bit fired up or something.
Yeah.
Sandoval was just sitting there spouting the lines.
And go sit in the corner.
Hey, talk about
When he comes back in, I'm just like, fuck. I'm not actually confident that he's going to come back in because you're not exuding any sort of confidence yourself. Yeah, I don't know.
Why did they pick the drunkest former agent?
Yeah. The bloke he is as cliched as they come. He's sitting there at a bar with a dirty sort of stubble. He's got a long dusted jacket on. He's drinking heavily. Yet, when push comes to shove, he can beat the shit out of a couple of blokes in the bar when he's had a skin full of piss. I mean, I don't remember ever being able to do
when he shows that familiarity with Ray Park too, I was confused as to whether that was because they both worked for the agency, or whether he was in on the trick, which I still think he was, but I don't know.
Who was in on what?
Well, I don't know. I don't even know what there was to be in on.
What the fuck are we talking about?
was Sandoval after the bloody Dano boss? I still don't know.
Good Lord, this movie is... It's... I don't understand.
It just felt like such a small universe. Like, the villain that nobody knows who they are can just call the bad guy get his details off the internet.
Yeah.
With a 2-second hack, and then he's calling him up and talking to him. Everyone's kids is everybody else's. And
everything was really closely connected, but then we still didn't realise it was a Prince of
It's meant to be like an international mystery as to what's going on.
Why was he working for the DIA? And what is the DIA? Halfway through, there was multiple times in the movie where I kept stopping and going, is it CIA or the DEA? And then they kept saying DIA. And so I'd go for 5 minutes and then in my head again I'd go, is it the CIA or is it the DEA?
Department of Intelligence.
Well, how can you call yourself that when there's not a lick of intelligence on the screen?
But I still don't get, why are we giving you the briefing and showing you Ray Park when he's one of the... was he pretending to be an agent?
Why were we also not trying to kill Sever? Because she knew where the kid was.
I don't know.
She had a nanobot. She's robotic. What's going on?
They just couldn't kill her. She was unkillable.
No, but because Ray Park kept saying, don't kill her. Yeah, they kept turning up with hyper.
That particular scene.
That's because she was
let's unpack that for a minute. So that particular scene was where I was all twisted up in knots because they want to take her alive. They make it great pains. Let's take her alive at the mall. But they don't seem to take any measures other than lethal. They're all toting guns. No one's got a taser or a baton or something. So the first guy goes in and jams the thing in the back and goes, freeze! And sort of causes the commotion.
It escalates.
I'm thinking, yeah, if he's got a bloody taser or something, that's done.
No, it wasn't a taser though. He didn't have a taser.
No, he didn't. But what I'm saying is, if he did,
yeah.
Like if you're going with fucking long,
He doesn't need to get near her. Near her slow kicks in order to.
Are you going with long?
They said they can't shoot her. They said don't kill her.
Yeah.
So if you're not killing her, but you've all got guns, are you at least coming in with a, shoot her in the leg or something? Because he goes straight to the back. He goes straight, freeze, and gives her the chance to knock the gun away. Okay, I'm past that. He screwed up. Then Ray Park says the local PD will be called in. We'll use them as cover. Like, as if the local PD's not going to pull guns on the bird that's running around with a friggin' machine gun. She's got you brought in there.
Yeah, she was killing people left and right.
Yeah.
But we'll take her away.
No, the local PD won't kill her. Then Park starts saying, where's my assault team? And they start firing recklessly to kill her, seemingly. I don't know. I don't get it. I do not get it.
I'm baffled.
The I found everything. To go back to that first scene, she had the unbreakable hood on to be incognito, and then they're like, everyone knows it's her, like instantly.
Yeah.
It's just,
they go after the one that's dressed like the Green Arrow, just in black.
Yeah.
Why does she need to fight with the hood on?
I don't know. Because it looks cool. It's good, around the time of the Matrix, it looks really cool.
Is that what it was trying to be?
Chaos's big problem. Let me unpack Chaos's problems. Too much chaos.
Early 2000s.
There was a lot of explosions. There was a lot of explosions, most of which made very little sense.
Yeah.
And Chaos's massive big problem is that although he had a couple of interesting shots, he seemed to be just ripping off other directors like your John Woos and these sorts of people.
Yeah.
With the slow-mo.
Was it the
slow
was
running,
the wailing that John Woo touched?
I think that may have been a John Woo touch at some point. I mean, we didn't see any doves or anything, but we weren't far off that.
Or was that one of the producers that watched the movie and realised how much money they'd sunk into it and started going, wow, okay.
Two of the producers sitting side by side going, how much did you put into this? 10 million.
I can't believe you didn't give it a star for people about to die going, oh shit! That's right up your alley. That happened like 2 or 3 times.
I need more of a quip than that. I need the poke in the ribs and all that sort of stuff.
Subtlety's not Chaos's strength.
No.
No disrespect to Chaos. And I'm sure that his more recent pictures are better.
Can I go back to Ray Parker and Miguel Sandoval for a second?
Here we go. The broth. The disgusting broth.
The bone broth. It was after the shootout, there's a scene where they're talking to each other and Miguel Sandoval says to Ray Park, you're sweaty. And Ray Park says, it's been raining. And I'm like, it looked like a staring contest, but with they'd added caveats that you can't show any emotion or any charisma. Whoever does loses. It was fucking awful.
Yeah, they were having a stare off. It was like, whoever shows some charisma gets fired.
I'm still stuck on your let's take her down gently. They bring an assault rifle.
The fucking one of those mini guns, don't they?
Yeah, that's a mini gun on the back of
that's 50 cal. That's one of them 50
That's the tactical team that Ray Park calls in after he said, don't kill her.
What tactical team has that? It's not
you
the
should have called the
military.
tactical team first, because your tactics are shit, right? God.
I did like when she came in the batons and started.
Yeah, that was a cool little
good.
scene. That was kind of Matrixy as well. Like
I'll give that
how she
one.
just ripped through the 5. There should have been more of that.
Yeah.
Should have been more of them. Because the gunfight part of that was just stupid.
Didn't it feel like he was like ticking off fights? We need to have a baton fight. We need to have a knife fight.
Honestly, let me tell you the best part of the entire movie for me. When he's chasing her, Banderas is chasing Lucy Liu.
Yeah.
And she just runs past this guy, towards this guy who's making out with his girlfriend in an alley. He never seems to turn around and go, hey baby! Gets the shit kicked out of him by her.
Oh, Uncle Frank, is that you?
I don't think what was that for?
Yeah, I don't know. That was
in with the others.
really odd.
Yeah, like he'd already.
She looked very uncomfortable though. She looked very uncomfortable when he's there grinding and rubbing, and he turns around, "Hey, baby."
Oh dear, low attention span on that.
Like
no.
for that sequence, I was just like, so who asked to include that?
One of the
Well,
Seven producers.
yeah, I think that was the line producer who brought that.
Yeah, maybe it was one of the producers. Maybe that was him. He was looking to get himself into the movie or something. give me a nice speaking
He's
role.
setting himself like Alfred Hitchcock or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the art that he was going for.
The fight between Ecks and Sever on the rooftop. It's a bloody abomination. It's like something out of the Three Stooges. Like she keeps getting him in a squirrel grip and he keeps
Everything but her poking the eyes.
that sort of shit's going on. We're that close to that.
Yeah.
It's just, it's terrible because also too, it's supposed to be the two characters coming together. And you'd think that the fight would be, a bit of a knockdown, drag out, sort of both of them have get the upper hand and, she just gets away or whatever. But he scraps.
The fact that they start teaming up so quickly, it just takes one comment and then they're like, all right, let's fight together now.
Yeah.
Just everything changes. It just makes them look like complete idiots.
Oh, God, what about all the origami, dude? Honestly. So that's your character development. You go, wish he does some origami stuff. Leaves it around.
That's what she's feeling.
And crane, the easiest of origami animals.
The twists all the way through, like the twists and the twists and turns of the plot are so standard, but they would have worked fine if the information had been brought out in a different way. Like, I don't know why everything
In
had to
what
be,
way, though?
but like, the way that I think of it is like a Stallone picture or a Punisher type thing where this bloke's dead or supposedly dead, thinks his family's dead. If that stuff comes out early, but they're still alive, then you kind of work the revenge angle and whatever.
Yeah.
Chaos was doing things differently, mate.
When it's a Diesel and Stallone picture, that sort of stuff is probably gonna work.
Yeah.
But the way that it comes out in this is just a fucking schmozzle. It's just like in the middle when he finally reconnects with his missus, all of a sudden we get the whole story, and
They've pretty much got Gant and her pretty much have a teenage son. And she's like, I don't even love him. It's not even his kid. Are we presuming that they've never had sex? I never stopped loving you.
And she said, what? Oh, I only married
And then
him
why is he bothering to hang around with her?
Why
is she bothering to hang around with him?
When did... Okay, hang on. So who faked their own death? Because there was an exploding car?
He blew up both their cars so that she would think he was dead and he would think she was dead. I still don't know why he did it to her. His explanation was because what's his name? His real name's Clark or something.
Yeah.
When he's working as an agent, they say, "Why did you do that?" "Oh, you know why I did it, so there could be a Gant." And I'm like, what? So you've created a Mr. Big, but I still need an explanation as to why you've created this false Mr. Big that you're chasing.
Were you on the take? Is that what we are led to believe, that he was on the take or something?
That
as an
made
agent?
no sense.
Because he's Clark, but he's Gant.
But why?
His explanation is, I'm the Kingpin.
No,
I created the Kingpin.
The Kingpin of what? What was he running? Drugs, nanobots?
Yeah, I think he was running nanobots. He was smuggling nanobots.
Fucking hell. Oh, my head hurts.
I'm still not clear. on that.
I think it just lost half.
But the other part for me is the whole thing falls apart when Banderas gets blown up, and then you hear her go, say something. Then her car gets blown up, but Clark/Gant is running away with her, and she yells out, I can't even remember his name. She yells out
Jeremiah.
his name. I'm like, the explosion's finished. You would have heard that. You know she's not dead.
Yes, I'm here.
Going, Jeremiah!
Yes, I'm here.
When you
We're 10 metres away. I can hear
You've done
you.
your due diligence. You went to her. I went to her funeral.
Yeah,
the casket was closed.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
that's
right.
gotta be a dead body in there for there to be a funeral.
Yeah, and wouldn't you be? Would you have had to identify her or something? Like, but anyway,
The coroner needs to have
even
done
going past
something.
that. Even going past that,
He just went straight to the bar. Like, shit, she's dead. That's it.
even going past that, this is our best man. But I've never gone and done surveillance or whatever on the bloke that killed me, or gone to exact some revenge and then gone, shit, that's my wife in there. Like, he's managed to avoid those circles.
Yeah.
For what? How many years?
But he's the
7 or 8
deadliest
years.
man, apparently the only man for the job.
Yeah, he
but
can
he
get
can't
it
even
anyway.
take care of his own shit.
He doesn't even know his wife's alive. Jesus Christ. He
can get it anywhere.
Except for the casket.
He's considering his parents, that kid is the whitest kid ever.
He can get in anywhere.
He's accidentally been bleached by Gant's hair.
Oh yeah, he came into contact with it. The problem is, they say that X can get in anywhere, but basically the guy seems to bumble around doing absolutely nothing for the entire time.
How do you know he can get in anywhere, but the only thing he's entered in the past 12 years is the fucking bar door?
I did love, there's a sequence where he gets on a motorbike and he's flying through, and there's, honestly, Chaos went a bit, I think Chaos had too many smoke machines going at one point.
Yeah.
And he rides through the smoke and he hits a car.
Yeah.
And he goes flying off his car, and then we get a long shot of two other cars going over the top like Shamu and fucking SeaWorld or something. I was just like,
I was watching that going, his head is going to get smashed like a watermelon.
Yeah, I thought
And they both do
he
a
comes
flip.
off with a small trickle of blood. But
Like a corkscrew style flip.
Yeah, in the same direction.
Yeah.
After you get hit by a car, by the way, you're not getting up and chasing an assassin.
You're not brushing it off unless you're Charlie Bronson. You don't just brush it off. Speaking of, if you got Stan, Death Wish 2 to 5, straight up, get on it.
Thankfully, I don't have Stan.
Hey, you can borrow mine.
All more stars in this movie.
Oh man.
But as I was saying, like the way the info comes out, the prime thing for me is that Gant and the wife, and stealing his wife. That's motivation. That's character motivation. So X's motivation prior to finding out his wife is still alive, the bloke gives him the little tidbit, but for fucking 45 minutes or something, he's following this thread, and we never get any of that other stuff until that meeting. Like, I've had enough of that. I'm not even going to talk about that anymore. But that's what I mean. Like, his motivation is fucking saved up until we tuck it away for 45 to 50 minutes until we spill it out in front of the bloody aquarium. To the fish tank they're sitting in front of.
I hated that they were trying to paint Lucy Liu to be some maternal. Every time she's got this wrinkled up old photo of a kid.
Yeah, they keep showing all that.
Yeah,
It's
but
like-
she's got this kid in a cage. You bring him some Jello. That doesn't make you maternal.
Give him a yoga, you heartless bitch.
Watching him eat does not make you maternal. You've got him in a cage.
Bare minimum of yoga. Maximum maybe some ice cream.
Mild-mannered, polite kid.
No, but at one point she brings over like a prison meal. It's like,
And I finally, towards the end, I realised why he wasn't making any bloody noise. He wasn't making a fuss, is because they're hanging bloody, they're dangling in the air in that bloody.
Oh yeah.
Thing. I'd be sitting there. I wouldn't be moving either.
Well, he also
rocking
had
this thing.
He also had a nanobot inside.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
assuming he
Well,
would be.
but they say the nanobot, right? When we get down to it, somebody says there's software in his arm. So here's me thinking, I don't know if anyone that writing the script knows how computers work and all that sort of stuff, but like, I'm not a computer expert, but I'm assuming after 8 to 10 years that software's fucking obsolete. Like, oh, we got the software. Oh, what have we got? We don't have a bloody, we don't have Windows 95 to run it on.
It's a pretty big stretch as well to fake a marriage with a woman just so that you can use her kid as a vessel for your nanobot. It's a bit much.
So is that why he got into Did
Yeah,
Gant get into the
there's
lucrative
one-
nanobot market?
Yeah. Gant / Clark was in the nanobot market, and the kid was what they smuggled it in.
Yeah, he stole the European technology.
You just stolen
They had their eyes on him. They had their eyes on him.
But any old kid could have got stolen there and been
Pay the
injected.
flight attendant, and then at the other end you use this little device he's got to scan.
Well, I don't know about you, but I've been sticking cocaine up their bums in condoms for years to get them.
Yeah, how good are the scanners that they can? How good are the scanners that they can pick up a nanobot?
I think a nanobot's fairly easy to hide in your colon.
Oh man, I think I'm going to take away my star because this talking about it has just made me realise I watched the entire picture without knowing what was happening.
What about? Did anybody get a dislike from Gant's death scene?
Oh yeah.
Press the button and he just.
And he just
blows up
dies
his
of the
inside.
nanobot that's inside him.
pretend you've just been stung by the bloody, or you've been injected with something by the bot or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's kind of just got to, he's got to do the Matthew McConaughey pretending that his legs remote controlled. He just has to go.
Where did he get the nanobot put in him?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know if you have to put it in. Didn't they say you can just bloody? You can. I don't even know if you had to. Yeah,
Because he got it shot. Them.
Was
the
he
other guy
doing? Was he doing a nanobot
Yeah, I
smuggle?
thought the bot was kind of.
Mate, if you can shoot a guy,
I don't know. Look,
if you can shoot a guy, if you can get to a point where you can shoot him, why do you need to put the nanobot in?
Was he doing a nanobot hustle on the side? He was smuggling one through Delta Airlines as well.
Yeah, he was fucking running off his. He had bootleg bots that he was hustling.
They were named nanobots. Oh look, I don't know if I can go into it any further because I don't really understand.
I still got upset that Lucy Liu killed every single cop ever, and they're like, but she's a really nice.
She's
girl.
alright.
Don't worry, we'll
They
let
all
it
had
go.
it coming to them.
Oh, she's a killer. No, she's a mother. Okay, that's pretty
Yeah,
That's
mother.
alright.
You can be a mother and a killer.
Yeah, motherfuckers was the word that we're talking. But there's also a song over the end credits, Tragedy, and absolutely tragic. I don't know who sings it. I didn't stick around to find out, but it was fucking awful. Oh,
Just that one? The whole soundtrack.
oh look, I had the yeah, David Guetta. David Guetta's sort of music was out there, but they had the music's the worst part of the. I mean, the fact that I don't understand what the movie's about, but the music was so intrusive. Was so intrusive, and in every single sequence there was.
Yeah, it was like a fucking nanobot on its own. It just been stung by a nanobot at the 1 minute mark. And
God. Any other dislikes, people? No. Any other things you'd like to bring forward about this film?
My head's hurting after trying to decipher what's
dislike
happening.
that it made 20 million at the box office.
I know.
That's a dislike.
Okay, now we get to
Well,
the
we just bumped that up by 15 bucks over a weekend.
They made some dollars on it.
We better let Box Office Mojo go.
Okay, that was Ballistic Ecks Vs Sever. Now, is this the worst movie that Rotten Tomatoes has ever had?
No.
No. That's definitely your call?
No. It's, I mean, as we said, there's the caveat that it's only the worst because it's the one with 0% that's got the most reviews.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, as if we haven't seen worse movies.
I can give you 10 off the podcast. And that's being conservative, I reckon.
I know you used to, well, you know, when there was mention that Freddy's Dead was the one that you'd given 0 on the podcast, you were fucking ranting all over about that one.
The fact that Freddy's Dead's got 20% on Rotten Tomatoes, bullshit. So, and I believe Pieces has got 46%.
Deservedly so.
Yeah,
should be fresh for me.
See, this is the difference between a movie like Pieces and Ecks vs Sever. Pieces is 5 stars. It's pure comic genius.
Inept.
But
it's funny as hell.
You jerks said that I'd really like this movie.
Yeah, you would. You bloody love it.
I love Pieces.
You guys was steaming, but we were laughing our heads off. And I'm pretty sure you would find the comedy. You wouldn't be. You wouldn't be wanting to punch us by the end of the movie.
Pieces is the sort of movie that you need to go for unintentional comedy.
And that's exactly what I was saying. That's why this is 0, because it doesn't have any of that camp and nonsense.
It's not a cult classic.
If there was more of the guns firing backwards and that sort of shit, it would be a laugh riot.
Yeah.
But there's not enough of that.
So do you feel it's the worst movie?
It's a turd sandwich. There's been more entertaining farts in the world.
Look, it's a turd sandwich.
I've eaten bigger turd sandwiches.
I have eaten turd sandwiches and I don't even like bread. You know, better than this fucking movie.
I needed a nap.
But
I needed a nap in between.
I
the
will
start and
say
end of
this. There is no way that this is the worst thing we've seen.
No.
No chance.
Well, we would have rated...
Well,
I would have given less than Mad Men.
Yeah, but it's not about the ratings for me. It's more about... I look at... You
but in terms of a personal opinion,
yeah.
I've seen worse movies and we've watched worse for this podcast.
And you mentioned Triple X, and you're spot on. This is only marginally worse than Triple X. And Triple X is
because it doesn't have the hilarious nonsense that Triple X has got. That's what it's missing. I mean, if it had have gone more in the, if it had have gone more into the bloody early 2000s techno and fashion, then we might have had a few Triple X.
If they'd have been at a Ramstein concert,
and if they'd have named their bloody, their crew of bad guys Revolution 98 or whatever those bozos did.
I still think they should have called, in this one, they should have called their organisation Chaos. Just for a little bit of synergy, directorial synergy.
Yeah, that would have been good.
All right.
And it would have been true because Chaos was the biggest fucking villain of the whole piece.
I can't believe you gave it 1 star for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I am reconsidering after talking about it.
On a side note, Adam, you've been banned from choosing films for the next 5 movies.
Fucking oath. You are.
Mate, you've got to get these things out of the way.
Yeah.
You've got to get them out of the way. All right. You can find us on Podomatic, iTunes and Spotify. Contact us via email at thrillme@iinet.net.au. Like us on Facebook, Thrill Me Podcast Australia, at Podomatic at thrillme.podomatic.com, and on Instagram at Thrill Me Podcast AU. Keep an eye on the Facebook page for the more details of what we'll cover next. But until then, take it easy and we'll catch up with everyone later. Cheers. Find the podcast at Podomatic or on iTunes. Don't forget to rate and review. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia, or contact us at thrillme, all one word, all lowercase, at iinet.net.au.